Hey YouTube, this is Apostle Stacey Woods, and I know my makeup is halfway on right now, but I'm inviting you to get dressed with me. And this is part 2 of the video, so if you're not seeing part 1, go so you can see part 2 of the Getting Dressed With Me video, where I tell you all the products that I'm using. I tell you about my hairstyle today. I tell you where I got this lovely accessory. I don't want to blind you with this mirror. Tell you about this lovely accessory set that I am wearing, okay, and also show you my blouse that is a part of my outfit of today. Okay, now let's get started. I'm applying my foundation with my ELF brush and my Mary Kay foundation in medium coverage, and this is number 607. As you can see, I do have a lighter color that I've applied under my eyes, and this is just for a contouring effect, to give you that dual effect of having brighter eyes, I suppose. It kind of just brightens up your face. And it's a tip that I learned right here on YouTube from the professional makeup gurus out there. Um, I do freelance and do makeup from time to time for weddings and events, but mostly I do makeup for fun. Okay, so if I'm doing something that doesn't seem professional to you, or you feel like there's a better way to do it, that's fine. That's wonderful. I'm actually just showing you what works for me, and since I usually get compliments on my makeup, just want to show you guys what works for me, okay? Now, none of us have perfect skin. Some days I have good days. Like the song said, I had some good days. I had some hills to climb. Today is an okay day. I don't have very many breakouts or anything. Most of the time my skin behaves itself. And for that I am grateful. But I'm just applying this like I always do. If you watch any of my Get Dressed videos, you've seen me do this before, right? But I just want to talk about some things that God has been sharing with me while I do my makeup. You know how I do it. Um, just want to share some things that God has really been sharing with me and dealing with me about, these last couple of days. And just kind of give you all, my process of thought, you know, what I've been really before the Father with. Things that have been on my mind. Number one, the ministry that God has given me is always on my mind. I'm always praying to God and always seeking the Lord for the right direction to take with the ministry that He's entrusted into my hand. I tell you, ministry, I always say it, ministry is not glamorous. It's not for punks. It's not for folk who give up easily. It's not for folks who are easily intimidated by people's opinions. It's for those who are willing to be talked about, willing to be ridiculed, scandalized. It's for those who are just willing to go through as good soldiers. But also, if you want to see life change, if you want to see God work the miracle of salvation into people's lives, if you want to see people transform through hearing the gospel, and if you realize that your life is not your own and you've been bought with a price, then yes, ministry is for you. These last few days I have really, like I said, been seeking the Lord for His direction. And I thank the Lord for the word of confirmation that came through the mouth of His people that wanted to obey Him. I mean, God has really just confirmed His word to me. And I am so grateful for the word of confirmation. Okay, you guys, as you can see, I've applied my foundation. And many times when I'm applying foundation, like I just did, using my brush and sponge method, I notice I have little, you can't see it on camera, but I have little dry patches on my skin. So I use this MAC moisturizer, this MAC Studio Moisture Fix Lotion. Again, it's by MAC Cosmetics, Makeup Artistry Cosmetics. I just use a little touch to touch those little areas that are dry. And it gives me a nice little glow, nice little sheen. It helps me even out the coverage of my product. Okay, I also like to go down the bridge of my nose to give me that natural highlight. And what this does is elongates your nose. For those of you guys who have that pudgy little nose, like I have, it kind of just helps to elongate your nose. And it depends on what kind of look you're going for. I'm perfectly fine with my nose. But it's just enhancing, okay, you guys? Just for different looks. I don't know about you guys, but I like to look different. I like different little things. And it may not look like it, but I do have touches of eczema from time to time. Just around my nose area and sometimes around here. So I use a little moisturizer. Sometimes even after I apply my product, because I can't always see the dry patches when I start applying product, and I don't want to give, this is what works for me. I don't want to be greasy and shiny, so I don't apply it all over my face. I just apply it in my needed areas. And then at night when I remove my product, when I remove my cosmetics at night, then I may apply a moisturizer for nighttime. And my moisturizer that I use at night is by Mary Kay, and it's like a even skin essence serum, a nighttime skin repair, I think it's called. Anyway, I'll show you guys in previous videos. I just don't have it right now. Okay, so moving on, I'm going to the eyebrows, and there we go. I'm gonna, and I always kind of use this method where I use the eyebrow pencil and then I fill it in with eyebrow filler by MAC. Nothing special. Just a little technique that I use when I do my eyes. I'm using black only because I don't have my other eyeliner on hand. I rarely use black, but if you do it right and you do it lightly, you can get away with using black. But I like to use the black brown. And you guys, my eye color, this eyebrow liner that I'm using is by LA Color from what? The Dollar Tree. So I paid what? $1 for it. Okay. And I just outlined the natural shape of my eyebrows. My eyebrows are pretty good, but I just fill them in. Okay, so I just follow the natural shape of my eyebrows. Then I fill it in with a brow filler and a MAC brush. Really simple technique. Doesn't require a whole lot. Like I said, my eyebrows are pretty good, so all I have to do is just follow the natural contouring on my eyes, and I've already kind of cleaned them up as far as ridding them of any loose stray hairs, in this area. But the way I do my eyebrows, even when I'm between waxing and between plucking, the way I do it, you can't even tell, So try not to over process my eyebrows, because genetically, the women in my family, as they grow older, their eyebrows begin to thin. Okay, so I don't try to do too much as far as putting eye product, as far as plucking and waxing, because I know I'll be just aiding in that natural process of thinning my eyebrows out too much. So anyway, that's how I do, and you guys were just talking. Then I go back. I have a little product still left when I apply my foundation. So I use the same foundation brush to clean up, and just to kind of sharpen any of my edges and give it a really clean look. As you can see, if you went outside of the line, feel like a little kid when they tell you the color. You color inside the line. So if you went outside any other line, you can just go back with this brush and clean it up. There we go. Then if you want to, for some extra drama, I suppose, you can take a lighter color. This is by CQ, and this is a smooth color eyeshadow palette, and it's in very neutral tones. You can take that or a palette like it with similar colors and just kind of go on top and on the bottom and blend it in, just to kind of give your eyebrows that extra pop. Okay, so that's my little eyebrow tips, and these are not new things at all. I got these things, most of these little tips came right here from YouTube, from the other wonderful makeup gurus and artists that are already here. We're just getting dressed this morning, so even though I'm doing a little tutorial, I'm not claiming to be on that level. I'm just doing what works for me. Okay. So anyway, as I apply my eye color, we'll talk a little bit more about what God has been sharing with me. I'm not using the eye primer. I'm just applying the product because I'm not going for a really bold look, just a little splash of color here and there. And that's that bronze that I showed you guys in part 1 of the Getting Dressed With Me video today. Followed by this really pretty plum color that I'm also using in my crease. And pulling it out on my edges to give myself a smoky eye, but not too dramatic. Just enough. Okay? But anyway, you guys, the Lord is kind because He talks to His servants. He deals with us. He doesn't have us ignorant concerning spiritual things. Like I said, I'm always before Him, seeking Him on behalf of the ministries that He's given me, on behalf of the people whose responsibility it is for me to speak into their lives on a weekly basis. Even down to what I post on YouTube and Facebook and the other social media sites that I'm a part of. I mean, I just am, my chief desire is to please the Lord. That's my chief desire. If I can accomplish pleasing the Lord and making God happy, then I'm happy. Sure, like everybody else, I want to be prosperous, want the good things and the finer things in life. But the finest thing is pleasing Jesus. I mean that with my heart. I want to please the Lord in all I say and all that I do. So, I mean, that's really what I've been seeking Him about. Lord, am I pleasing You? Am I doing what You called me to do? Am I on timeline? Am I on, when I say am I on the timeline, am I on the schedule of God? Am I moving according to His divine schedule for my life? You know, the Bible tells us in Ecclesiastes that there is a time and a purpose to everything. There is a season, time and a purpose under heaven. So I want to know that, Lord, am I operating in time and purpose? You know, because we can miss our season if we're not careful. You know, God can bless us to do things, but if we're careful and we don't move according to the divine timing of God, we can miss our season. So I'm very concerned with being in His time and in His season, and realizing that ultimately my life is in His hands, that He controls my life. And even when things don't work out the way I think that they should work out, He has a plan and a purpose for all of those things. So I'm grateful to know that I'm in His care. I received 3 confirmations, you guys. After I prayed that prayer, I went to church to fellowship with the church. I went to a church, and the pastor there spoke a word of confirmation. The woman of God that read the scripture, the evangelist, she read the scripture from Job. Remember when I told you guys? Be right back.